Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video we're going over what's the best new deck in Marvel Snap, and that's highlighting with the newest card into the game, Annihilus. So with that, let's get into the deck. And as you'd expect, the Annihilated deck is centered around Annihilus. And within this deck, the key to victory is the Shuri and Taskmaster combination or the Annihilus Sentry combination. We'll start the breakdown getting into the core cards that are needed in this deck to succeed, which are Annihilus, Shuri, Taskmaster, Sentry, Vision, and America Chavez for your deck thinning capability. So Annihilus's versatility is useful in this deck, not only in terms of his ability to transfer negative power to the other side of the board, but he is also a 5-drop, which is a key target for Shuri, so you can generate 14 power easily in many situations, or negatively impact the opponent's side of the board depending on your draw. Shuri's ability is still undervalued in today's meta. She can just create so much power in one location, and with cards like Annihilus, Vision, or other strong, powerful 5-drops, she can create immense power that can then be replicated at another location that most decks just can't compete with. Taskmaster is pretty self-explanatory on his inclusion to the deck. If you target something to get doubled in size by Shuri, you want to be able to then recreate that power again, and there's no other card in the game to do it besides Task. Normally, I would have Vision in a category that is more of the flex card, if you wanted to say, but through my gameplay and testing in recent history, I would honestly put Vision as the #1 Shuri target. He just provides so much versatility and makes your opponent think so much and in ways that they don't usually, so it's easier to make them mess up and just get yourself more cubes quicker. And at this point, I would put Chavez as a always include in any really heavy combination decks that you have going on. She just thins out your deck so well and gives you a consistent draw for 9 power on turn 6 if you really need it. And Sentry is a really fun card in this deck. He produces a ton of power if you need to Shuri him and not necessarily need to even worry about the right lane. Just leave that -10 there and do your own thing with Taskmaster. But he also provides versatility. You can go Sentry on 4, Annihilus on 5, and then you have a whole variety of moves you can do on turn 6 to win the game that the opponent just isn't going to be expecting. Now we're going to get into the cards that are more flexible, not necessarily must includes, but I would borderline have armor as a must include at this point, given the current state of the meta. The Destroy archetype is heavily prevalent in the meta right now, so it gives you assistance in countering that, as well as setting up for your large Shuri plays and giving yourself protection, so armor is a very valuable 2-drop for you in this archetype. I've been adding Gladiator into my Shuri decks lately, as it has immense value as a Shuri target if you're somehow not rolling well, but he also provides very good disruption into your opponent's decks and can somehow find a way to interrupt and impede them for their win conditions at points. He will shoot you in the foot from time to time. Moving on to Jeff, he is kind of just one of those cards in Marvel Snap that is always going to find value. He's a good target in this deck to help you get to locations that you can't get to necessarily, as well as a potential early forge target, which can surprise opponents at the end of the game when you move Jeff and add power somewhere where he wasn't there. I love including Scarlet Witch in this list because she adds a surprise factor at the end of the game that really a lot of people aren't necessarily ready for, especially if you're running into a bunch of Magic players. You can throw her out on turn 6 and you can just straight up steal games from people when they're not expecting her. And finally, the last 2 cards in this deck that I would argue are the most replaceable, most flip-floppy are going to be Killmonger and Forge. I've included Killmonger because of the heavy Elsa meta that is happening right now. Kind of gives you counterplay to those large nebula and sunspots that you can't really deal with. And we're really just using Forge as a little extra boost to our cards to provide a little extra Shuri buffing, or it can even really help Gladiator target and take something out larger. Depending on what we're running into, some good replacements for Forge and Killmonger could be Mobius, Nebula is always good. So now that we've broken down that deck, let's get into some high infinite gameplay here. And first up we have, straight out of the boys, Homelander. And with this starting hand, I right away know that I'm not going to really have a great time to play Scarlet Witch late, so I'm going to try to get her out early right now. And set up my Gladiator Shuri Taskmaster combo. So unfortunately that Scarlet Witch location can really only have negative yield for us, but it does not interrupt our gameplay strategy at this point. We're hoping to get lucky with a Gladiator pull here. And unfortunately it's Deadpool, which is not good for us, but we still have pretty high level of confidence because our hand is very strong going into a Shuri Vision Taskmaster to win the game. It should confuse him a bit and help us spread power. Venom on the Citadel is not great for us, but we're still sticking to our game plan here. We have a lot of power and are in good shape. So he goes and tasks his own Venom, which gives me pretty good confidence that he probably doesn't have a null to play on the Citadel for its doubling effect. So my best move is probably to give up middle location and spread my power to the outsides and hope he doesn't have enough in Dark Dimension to stay strong and win. And with the Hulk Buster middle and a Deadpool right, that's not enough, so that is 4Q. And moving on here, we got MSL Casher, and we don't have a great starting hand, and Armor's not the best Forge target, so I'm not going to play him on turn 1. We're just going to go ahead and armor up here on the left lane and start reinforcing it and getting larger there. The Jeffet Bar Sinister is not really that problematic for us, so we're just going to go ahead and set up for a larger play here and Forge and buff up our turn 4 play. So he goes and Magic's Bar Sinister, which really doesn't make a difference to us. We weren't trying to bar anything, so we're just going to throw our Sentry in the middle to get us winning one position at this point in the game. I know I have Annihilus, so I have a strong follow-up here. So we're just going to go ahead and do our Annihilus gameplay here because I know I have Scarlet Witch for turn 6 in hand, which is going to be quite problematic for him, I think. He's most likely not going to be expecting the game to end next turn. So we go ahead and Bass and Mobius, which is not really much. So now we've completely locked down the left lane. I know I've won this at this point, so I'm just gonna Scarlet Witch, and Killmonger has a little more value than Jeff, so I'll throw him down center lane as well. And he Valkyries the right lane, which was a good play to counter the Void, but there's not enough, and that is 8 cubes for me. And this time around, we got Lance, the Rock, the Korg fan. We got a pretty solid opening hand here, and it's not too risky to Forge here because I do have Gladiator on turn 30 with Forge, which is a very strong play. Scarlet Witch is not a great draw here, so we're just going to pass and move on to our Gladiator Forge turn. Mindscape is a bad location for us in this deck, so I'm going to try to Scarlet Witch that if I can. And he fills up our Gladiator location, so it kind of works out for us as well. And normally I would go Shuri here to set up our larger win condition, but Mindscape does us no good at all, so I'm going to just get rid of it and throw Jeff down. So he does get Mr. Sinister on Altered Death, which is really not good at all for us, but could be worse. We're just going to throw Vision on Strange Academy because either way I'm going to get to move him around flexibly next turn, so it's just a better overall play here, I think. He goes ahead and Blue Marvels, which is kind of a strong play for us, so we're not in great shape, but we do have a lot of flexibility here with Jeff and Vision movement if we need to. I think we're just going to move Jeff into the right lane, leave our left lane as is, and try to get lucky and kill away some 1-drops with Killmonger. And ties us to the lane, and we win the overall power battle, and we get the victory. And finally, the last battle of today's video, we got Alec 82. Not our strongest opening hand, but having Taskmaster and Vision in your hand is never a bad thing. And the Camouflage on the board with a Shuri in the hand is an instant snap. It is as pretty good of a combination as you can get in this deck, as well as Camouflage with Gladiator. I'm going to get a chance to destroy 2 of his minions and completely interrupt his deck concept. So Rock Slide is not great for us, adds to our deck size and his Darkhawk, but we do get his Myth Marvel, which is a huge hit. So we're just going to throw down the Widow's Bite so we can keep drawing and get Shuri on Camouflage and get this huge Vision ready to go. And there's that Darkhawk. We knew that was coming, but we're still sticking to our game plan here. We're going to have Vision center, we're going to have a gigantic Vision, we're going to have a gigantic Taskmaster, and as long as we don't get Shang-Chi, he's not going to be able to keep up with our power. And I think it's most likely he thinks we're going to stay middle, so we're going to avoid Shang-Chi and move our locations to the right and left. And with a She-Hulk and a Korg, that's not going to be nearly enough, so that is an easy victory for us. And a lot of cubes we won today. And guys, if you made it this far into the video, I want to say thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you're looking into in the world of Marvel Snap. Maybe I can make some cool lists for you and get you some good gameplay and some wins. Let me know how the deck works out for you, and I'll see you on the next one, guys.